Hey everyone.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Matt?
Yes.
You're Mr. Bots, Mr. Chatbots.
Yeah.
You're the editor of a magazine, which is Chatbots magazine.
Yep, that's right.
And you also started Octane AI, which is a chatbot company. So that's a lot of bots. What are chatbots?
Yeah, so, so how many people here have used a chatbot? Raise your hand. Okay, so the reason chatbots are super interesting is most people don't realize this, but messaging apps are actually growing faster than social networks. And so this is when I got really interested in it. So about a year ago, I read that Facebook Messenger was growing faster than Facebook, which is super, super nuts. And so Facebook Messenger now has almost over 1 billion people using it every month. And when you look at it, there's a lot of other messaging apps out there that are also growing super fast. So you have Telegram, Kik, WhatsApp, WeChat, Viber, Slack, Discord, there's a lot of them. And so it makes sense that on a long enough timeline, and probably pretty soon, messaging apps are going to become the #1 way that people communicate online. And if that's the case, it makes sense that every business in the world is going to have to figure out a strategy to talk to people on messaging apps. The same way that every business has an email strategy and a social media strategy, now they're going to need to have a messenger strategy. And when you look at that, what are the 2 ways that you could have a messenger strategy? One, you could have like a call center where you actually have people chatting all day and it's all human powered, which is not very cost effective. 99% of businesses aren't going to do this. It's really expensive. The other solution is you can have a computer that can automatically respond to people's questions, and that's what we call bots. And so through that logic, everyone's using messaging apps. They're going to become the #1 way people communicate online. Every business is going to have a messaging strategy, and chatbots are the only scalable solution. So it makes sense that every company is going to have a bot. And so to kind of jump on that, one, I created Octane AI as a really easy way for anybody to create a bot without coding anything. Takes about 5 minutes. And then I also created Chatbots Magazine, which is a publication where about 400 people write about their experiences with bots, and it reaches about 200,000 people every month.
Is that collaboration, like pretty much everyone can contribute?
Yeah, so if anyone out there is interested in writing about bots or you're working on a bot, you can go to chatbotsmagazine.com, you can apply to be a writer, and I will most likely add you, and then feature you in front of our audience.
Cool. All right, so give me examples of bots, because the buzz around bots is crazy.
Yep.
But frankly, I'm pretty disappointed right now.
Yep.
So do you have any cool, or usable examples you can talk about?
So I think, first off, bots were definitely overhyped. And I think when most people think of bots, they think of this artificially intelligent, business representative or personality.
And they're really dumb.
And
they're not AI.
They're dumb's one way to say it, but they're just early, right? They're going to evolve. And so eventually we're going to get to the point where you can have a completely fluid conversation with the bot. You can tell it whatever you want, and it can understand you like a human, but the difference is it's going to have instant access to entire databases. We're not there yet. Every major tech company, Google, Facebook, IBM, Microsoft is working on that, but we're going to get there. Right now, bots are more like lightweight mobile applications that you can access via messaging apps. And so they're not super smart. They're simple and straightforward. And so use cases, 1-800-Flowers has a bot where you can message them on Facebook, and within a few messages you can purchase flowers for whoever you want. There's a bot called Streak Trivia, which basically, if you message it on Facebook, it starts a new trivia game every day at the same time. So you'll get a message and it'll say, the new trivia game is starting now. Do you want to play? And you can say yes. And thousands of people all around the world will play, and then it will send off yes or no questions, and the more questions you get right, the better chances you have of winning, and it just does this every day. And so these are the kind of simple experiences people are playing with, but overall, there's no Snapchat of the bot world yet. There's no Instagram, right? There's no killer bot. And I think that's okay. If you think back to when the iPhone App Store first came out, there were a ton of apps because it's a huge opportunity and people realize that. But the most popular app was a fart app, where you would download the fart app, you would push a button, and it would make a fart noise. And then it took a while for Snapchat to come out. And so I think right now in the bots world, we're kind of in the fart bot stage.
Snapchat was a fart app before?
No, Snapchat is the evolution of a fart app.
Okay. Matt, how about funding in the chatbot space?
We're hundreds of millions of dollars into chatbots, whereas there's billions of dollars into VR. And I think the reason for that is investors understand the huge potential of bots, but people are still trying to figure out what the best use cases are. And so people are working on customer support bots. People are working on bots that give you like superpowers in the workplace.
I can't wait for that. I don't want to talk to anybody on a customer.
Well, and you never want to be on hold again.
No.
Right? Like when you call your bank and it's like, oh, we'll put you on hold right now, and you have to like keep your phone open.
Press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and you want to throw away your phone. Yeah.
Right, we don't want that. We want to save your phone. Yeah, so bots are going to help with that. And then bots are also going to give you superpowers in the workplace. So you can imagine if you're on the phone call, you're doing a sales call, and you could have a bot that's monitoring that call, and it could be picking up information that the other person is saying, and it could even be potentially picking up sentiment analysis and then passing that on to your boss, and he could be figuring out overall, are our calls doing well or are they not doing well? And then one of the things I'm super interested in is, one, empowering everybody to create a bot and making that as easy as writing a blog post. And then two...
Is that the case with your platform?
Yeah, so that's what
It's already available?
Yeah.
Cool, so I'll try to do
Yeah, you go to octaneai.com, you can sign up.
I'm going to try that.
And then the second thing is everybody's talking about these bots for customer support and like these superpowers, which I think is super, super cool. But the third category, which I'm really interested in, is in having bots enable you to share conversational experiences. And so the way that you could write a blog post and share a blog post, or the way you could record a video and put that up on YouTube, what if you could create a short conversation and share that with your entire audience, whether that's your fans or your customers, and now it's a more intimate experience where everybody is having a one-on-one conversation with you. And so that's something that we're looking into, figuring out how to enable conversational storytelling.
Which platform do you think will win? Because there is a huge fight, as you said. There is Facebook Messenger that has, David Marcus just announced new upgrades of a platform. There is Microsoft Amazon Echo, which is more a voice, but it's also a platform. What are the other platforms?
So I mean, you have WeChat, which is huge, and they have official accounts, and you have Kik and Telegram and Viber.
So which one of those? If I make a bot, do I have to make a bot for all of those? And see what happens?
So
pretty much like you have to be on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. You have to be on all of those.
Yeah, I think right now.
You have to code a different thing for all of those.
That's what's going to happen. But platforms like ours, like Octane AI, will help you build one bot and deploy it to every platform so that you don't have to go through that hassle. But I don't think it's going to be a winner-takes-all scenario, right? There's always going to be different social networks that are competing against each other and different messaging apps that are competing each other. And some will be big in some areas of the world and other ones will be big in other areas of the world. And if you're a big enough brand and it makes sense for you to reach every corner of the world, you're going to need to have bots deployed on every messaging platform.
We're running out of time. Before we do, think about it. The most exciting bot for you for the future.
So eventually, bots are going to get to the point where they're ridiculously smart. They're using machine learning, natural language processing. They can understand everything you're saying. And so imagine right now you were going to plan a trip and you're going to go to Travelocity.com. You're going to scroll through the website. You're going to have to click buttons and type searches and say, I'm going to choose this hotel. I'm going to have to figure out what restaurants it's nearby, what locations it's nearby, and I'm going to have to keep track of that all myself. In the future, maybe this is 5 years out or 10 years out, I imagine that I could go to the same website, but instead of browsing through it and clicking things and typing in things, I'll literally be able to talk to it. Whether that's with voice or thinking or typing, I'll say, hey, I want to go to Napa in May. And this bot would be able to understand what I'm saying completely like a person, but it would have instant access to every hotel and every database and be able to process information really fast and would be able to handle the entire experience as if I was talking to a real person.
That's cool. I want that. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.